Good morning. I haven't picked up the camera since I got the results back. I am walking into the clinic to do my next lot of bloods. I decided not to do a pregnancy test this morning or yesterday. In between, was just trying to work out, or not trying to work out, but without numbers, it wasn't really going to be a meaningful result. And so I didn't want to put myself through that for not really knowing. So I'm gonna go and do my bloods. Chad gets home late this morning, and then my sister and her boyfriend fly in tonight. We'll find out results this afternoon. My mum ended up staying with me the last 2 nights, which has been really nice. But now I've got to go inside because even though the clinic hasn't opened yet, undoubtedly there'll still be a ton of people already there. New phone case. Okay. No, stay. Yes. Okay. Oh, all right. So blood test is done. Didn't quite take as long, but still not super quick. It's just interesting because I don't start doing the testers because they don't open till 7:30. But I don't know what time they're taking in people, because like I got there at 13 minutes past 7 and the waiting room again is still full. So I just feel like it almost doesn't matter what time I get there, it's just a wait. So now I go home, try and finish getting the stuff ready for my sister being here. This process has been so full on this time, and it's just like everything, it's been different. I don't quite know how to explain it, but obviously we hadn't got, like, I had tested early in other ones and they'd always come up negative. So having not one but 2 different positive tests was really hopeful, and yet then we had this inconclusive test. So it's weird to be in this space of like trying to remain hopeful but knowing it's probably not working out, and yet I'm sorry, this video is not being very good. It's just, I'm just in this kind of a weird headspace about, I'm wanting to engage with my feelings, and like I'm sad and I'm disappointed that things aren't clear, and you know, we really got hopeful and started to think about what the rest of the year was going to look like, and in a way I hadn't ever really allowed myself to before, and then to have that dashed that next day, and then kind of hope again the day after, and then kind of dashed hopes again, but inconclusive. And so the thing is that I guess what I've been working out is that today's result, the only thing that's going to be like a concrete result is going to be a negative, which I believe is under 5 is considered a negative. So that means we're losing the pregnancy and it's over. If I get similar or slightly higher results, it means that it's not progressing the way it should. There might even be a slim chance of ectopic pregnancy, but it probably just means I'll miscarry in a couple of days or a bit later on down the track. And then if I get the doubling from the reading, the blood reading on Wednesday, then of course I'm just going to have to do it again in a couple of days, and I don't know whether they'll make me wait another 2 days or 4 days from there to see if it's still increasing. So really, out of the options of what could happen, only one is going to be like a firm result today. So I'm trying not to preemptive, but I definitely am like feeling a bit protective of myself, of entertaining the idea that it is a late implantation. So yeah, I haven't been testing the last couple of days. It just wasn't going to be helpful anyway. So now I'm going to go home, finish prepping, probably find something to eat, and hopefully Chad will be home in a couple of hours. Hey guys, so it's been days since I picked up the camera. Friday we had our blood test, and it did indeed confirm that we had lost our pregnancy. My HGC had gone down to 1. It's been a really hard couple of days, and really grateful, like my sister being here and having like the wedding for my cousin, and spending time with family and catching up with friends. We did an escape room. You know, a whole bunch of those things have been a really good, like, positive distraction. And as I said, I've been really trying to work on like acknowledging those grief feelings as they come in, and like it's clear where they come from. And then trying to be able to let them go a little bit, and like some days better than others. But yesterday has been kind of hard, and today I just feel a bit flat. Also knowing that today I have to do a bunch of study on my week off, because I've got a major assignment due the week I get back, and it's worth 60% of my grade. But so like up until yesterday, so our first test was on, like blood test was on the Wednesday, Friday, and right before the test on Friday, I think I told you that I had started to spot, only lightly. Hi, baby. But yeah, so I started to spot, and then so I've only spot since then, and even that feels different to other rounds. Like, I feel like I would spot the day before, and then it would start, we would start full bleeding the next day. Where this is like, so today's Tuesday, so Friday we started spotting, Saturday spotting, Sunday. So it was like 3 days of spotting, and then it was just like, how long is this gonna carry on for before my body finally lets go, I guess. And so then I was at counselling yesterday, and that's when my body decided to start to fully let go and start bleeding fully. I have lots of like smaller clots happening, and it's very heavy, and double protection is needed, and that's still like almost not enough, and I'm in a lot of pain, and so had multiple painkillers yesterday, and yeah, so and it's like, to be honest, I had totally forgot that I was supposed to be counselling yesterday. I was going to go golfing with my sister and her boyfriend and my parents and Chad, and so then when I worked it out on Sunday night, I was like, remembered like, oh, like I have clients tomorrow, like I can't go. Yeah, so Chad ended up going, and so then I went and picked him up later after I'd finished, and he was just asking me how I was feeling and how I was doing after doing counselling. It happened that it was like really, like my client had done some really amazing work, and she'd had some breakthrough, and like that was really positive to see. Like she had made some shifts, and yeah, so for me, it was like, it felt like finally my body had caught up with the pain that I had been feeling emotionally. And so even though I was in pain, and even though I was like bleeding a lot, it felt quite cathartic, as in like my body was having a release of everything that I've actually been feeling and experiencing. And so yeah, so I've woke up this morning. I'm still in quite a bit of pain, but it's been manageable so far. So I'm just making myself a cup of tea. I'm gonna have something to eat, and then I really need to get into some study and work out how I'm gonna do this assignment. I think I'm gonna apply for an extension already because I already feel overwhelmed by the idea of having to get this assignment done to the quality that I need it. And yes, I've been working on the good enough student, but also because it's worth 60% of my mark, and then the other 40% is in one exam, and I don't do well on the exams. Like, I have to do fairly well on this to just pass. So yeah, I think I'm just trying to work on the things that I need to do to get through. Yeah, so tomorrow I go on a road trip with my sister and Nelson, and we're gonna go see my mum, and so that's like a 5-hour drive. So I've created a playlist for my sister and I, and Nelson's just gonna have to I think he'll like most of it anyway, but yeah, so I'm looking forward to those kinds of things. And I'm pretty tired, so I don't usually like napping because I don't feel good afterwards, but depending on how I go today, I might need to have a break and have a nap. And yeah, especially with drugs yesterday, once I got home and took some stronger painkillers, I was like barely keeping my eyes open. So I just think my body's tired, emotionally I'm tired, I'm hanging in there. Yeah, I just couldn't, almost, one, I didn't have a lot of time, and two, I couldn't bear to pick up the camera and try and explain the sadness and upset I was feeling. I'm in a better space now, but I've been pretty angry and upset, which is understandable. And I feel like it was cruel to get a positive after 12 years, to have that taken away, and it be so confusing. So there's been a lot of emotions, and I know that God can handle it. It's me that struggles to handle it. And so yeah, I've never felt like just because I've been upset or questioned the purpose, or did I hear properly, or any of the thing like that, my faith has never wavered in that. But yeah, so I'm clinging on to that. I guess I've almost felt like a toddler, banging my fists and kicking my legs, like, but on my dad's chest, like I'm being held. And so even though I'm kicking and screaming and not happy with the world and what happened, I still feel held and loved. And I just encourage anyone else, if you're experiencing loss, or even just the emotions of like anger and grief and the unfair or why, or all of that, like, God's big enough to handle those questions of him, and he can love you more than anyone during that time. So even while you're questioning, even while you're banging your fists or whatever, know that he still loves you. Yeah. Anyway, I love you guys, and I will check in